Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Ashemarie, and I like to draw stuff and share it here online. So this, what ended up being Zombie Girl, kind of went on the same track as if you watched my vampire video. I really kind of just found a pose I liked and ran with that, except for this time I struggled. I struggled a lot, and I struggled hard with this pose. And at first you can see, well, I already erased them, but at first I drew a pair of hands, and it was really reminiscent to another piece I had done, so I scrapped that. And then I had the idea of drawing this rib cage with the heart showing through behind it. And I was gonna have her arm or her hand grasping at her chest, and then I got too involved with drawing and I didn't know how to make it work, so then I decided to erase it all and start over again, and then I erased that several times, and then I started over again, just deciding to go, with the rib cage that I wanted to do in the first place and the heart, and decided that she didn't need arms. Because at this point, I hadn't quite decided she was a zombie yet. I was just thinking like a cute kind of play on a skeleton, and then I could do, her face really skeletal, but I didn't want it to look like a Day of the Dead girl, so she became a zombie, and then I was like, zombies don't need arms because they fall off sometimes. That makes sense. Yeah, so that's why she doesn't have arms, in case you were wondering. Besides the, kind of fiasco while I was trying to draw out the body and arms that she doesn't have, I really did enjoy the rest of this drawing, and I kind of enjoyed I'm sorry I'm saying kind of so many times. I enjoyed kind of the journey I went on to find this kind of character. I said it again. Dang it, I'm bad at this tonight. Probably because it's so late. Ah well. We must soldier on to meet our deadlines. Anyways, I was saying I really did enjoy this piece, and I'm having so much fun sketching out these spooky kind of creatures. So far, I have one more that I've sketched out, but I don't really think it fits in with the other ones, so I don't think I will actually use her for one of these illustrations. I kind of like the way she looks, but at the same time I'm kind of meh about her, so I did put a poll up on my Instagram account by way of my stories, and also I have archived them as permanent highlights on my main page, so if you stop by there, shameless plug, you can help me vote on which kind of creatures or ghouls or whatever you want to call them. You can help me decide which ones to do on this channel. Now I've already got, I think maybe 20 or 30 people have seen it so far, because I'm super teeny tiny everywhere, not just here on YouTube. And I'd love it if you would also give me some input on what you'd like to see, since you're the ones here watching it on YouTube. I still haven't figured out yet while I'm recording these that I don't need to say here on YouTube, because it's just kind of implied. Anyways, all rambling aside, on my previous entry into this little series that I'm doing, I couldn't think of the word there for a second. On my vampire girl, I mentioned that I tried to keep to a tertiary color palette, which is 3 or 4 colors depending on where you look it up. Actually, at this point I can't remember. I did 4 colors next to each other on the color palette, and I honestly felt like that was kind of too easy, because in reality I was thinking a similar color palette for it. I just limited myself from using anything other than those colors. So this time I wanted to try and challenge myself a little bit more if I was going to actually write on here that it's an attempt at a color challenge, quote unquote. So I went with the color scheme of red and green, trying to make a Halloween picture with super Christmassy colors. Now, I think the key to using these 2 colors without getting a super Christmassy outcome is that you really have to vary the I know I'm gonna use the wrong word, the hue and the saturation of your reds and your greens. They can't both be super saturated, like super rich colors, because those are so associated with, those are the Christmas colors, like that deep crimson red and that really bright deep evergreen. So you can see in my piece, I'm using really muted greens, like olive colors, a little bit of minty colors. I have a small amount of like an off teal color, but I mostly use that for blending because it was a really, really, really light color. But you can see some of my reds are really deep and rich, but honestly that's because that's the color of blood and that's the way I wanted that color to be. But I also toned it down with a lot of like off, it's like a red based pink more than a like pinky based pink. It's just a really light red. In the end, I ended up working on this piece and then setting it down and then working on it and then setting it down. You can see I just signed it there, but I'm going to go back and keep working on it. You can see I threw a little background on her because honestly she's really unbalanced on the page the way I drew her out, so I did that to kind of distract from that a little bit and to try and balance her out a little bit more. That is a lovely little tip that I don't remember where I picked that up from, but it is a wonderful, wonderful tool to kind of put things back into balance if you've gone too far and there's no coming back. I love that I kept working on this because I ended up giving her eyes this almost like jaundice kind of look. I mean, I couldn't go, obviously, I couldn't use yellow because this is a challenge to only use, red and green. So I kind of pushed the envelope and I used kind of a pinkish color and just completely blew it out with my colorless blender. And I'm actually really satisfied with her. I would have liked to do something different with her hair, but a lot of my green markers were kind of dying, so oh well. RIP several of my green markers. I managed to get a clip of all of my markers, both sketch and Ciao, for you guys. And as always, the rest of my supplies will be in the descriptions down below. If you like this artwork, if you like what I do, be sure to subscribe, maybe like this video, and leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. And don't forget about that Instagram poll. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.